No more games lie ahead. No more players to lead. No more teams to prepare. After chasing a ring season after season, after winning more titles than any other coach in NBA history, a basketball journey has come to an end. For years, he walked these scenic neighborhood streets as the face of the Los Angeles Lakers. But now Phil Jackson is ready to cross over to a new stage in his life.
You know, when you think about it in these mornings, it's just to immerse yourself in the activity level of breathing the fresh air and enjoying the scenery that's just here and experiencing yourself in it.
There's a certain timeless quality to this peaceful place, one that resonates for a man who spent 5 decades dedicated to the game.
Coaching basketball and playing basketball, it was more than just a physical act, it's a spiritual act.
As a child growing up in obscure towns in North Dakota and Montana, Jackson seemed destined for a spiritual life rooted in the church. His father was a pastor, and his mother an evangelist.
My mother always said, you know, you're dedicated to being a minister. I say, well, you know, I've got some disciples. There are 12 of them. It's a basketball team. But sometimes those disciples don't follow very well.
Played tight by Jackson. White has the ball stolen by Jackson. Racing ahead of the field. No one near him. He drives and lays it in. Phil Jackson.
His calling would be basketball. And his first teacher, Hall of Fame Knicks head coach, Red Holzman.
Red never had an assistant coach. He kind of incorporated me into, the team. I found a bond, became kind of like his pet. I learned some basketball. I learned a lot about how to handle people, and I learned a lot from my teammates about how to play together.
The New York Knicks have defeated the Los Angeles Lakers, winning their second championship of all time.
That was the beginning of something that was to lead to this later life.
It's a journey that begins with a single step, this 1,000-mile journey. You've got to remember that each game is that step that you take along the way, as is each practice.
In 1989, Jackson was named head coach of the Chicago Bulls, where he began to develop his own philosophy.
In this book that was kind of the pivotal point of my coaching career, written back in '93, I quoted something that was from Rudyard Kipling. It's called The Law of the Jungle.
Kipling wrote, "The strength of the wolf is the pack." Is that we don't stand as individuals in this game. This is a team game. And that the stronger the bond is between players, that's where the strength becomes. And the wolf has to rely on the pack to fulfill what it's going to do. That's really basketball.
The Chicago Bulls have won 3 straight NBA championships.
Phil was just a fascinating person who was willing to kind of try anything to motivate the team, to keep us interested. It's been pretty well documented. He would have these meditation sessions.
He challenges you mentally. He has his whole Zen thing that he has a belief in. Once everybody's connected, then the picture is beautiful and the bond is stronger.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. What a finish.
I think the biggest thing is to always believe in your players. It might be demonstrated in a moment when they're not performing well, that they are better than that, and they can prove it, and they show it.
I've always felt that the knowledge that I gained from Phil and the way that he coaches the game is what gave me an edge on the rest of the competition.
Yes, sir. 2 for 1. There's 2 for 1 over there.
Some people may not understand his methods, but if you've played for him, you understand him completely and you know what he's about. I mean, he's just absolutely brilliant at bringing a group together to accomplish one common goal.
We're going to bring it in one time. Come on, Phil, Mr. 10. Come on, Mr. 10.
We're saying the
We
Lord's
done.
Prayer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we done. We done. Now you guys.
I think more than anything, it's about watching these players come together from a variety of backgrounds and bring the best out in each other and make a bond. It's a circle. We call that the ring.
One of the great coaching careers of all time has come to an end.
I sometimes think about the places that you might never go back to again. So, you know, that crosses my mind once in a while that, you know, you can't step in the same river twice. I found myself thinking about the game, and I realized that, you know, it's over. Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. And the wolf that keeps it shall prosper. The wolf that doesn't shall die. This law runs forward and back, that the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack.
Phil Jackson, arguably the greatest coach in the history of sport, member of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. And a quick look at his resume: 20 seasons as head coach, 9 with Chicago, 11 with LA, 11 championships as head coach, a winning percentage over 70%, 229 playoff wins, first all-time, 5 championships with the Los Angeles Lakers, and 6 with the Chicago Bulls, including 3 three-peats. It's incredible. It's staggering what Phil Jackson did. And if he is indeed done, Phil, happy trails. Thank you for the great memories. He's been such a huge part of our game, weaved into the fabric of basically everything that we do. And let's just reminisce here for a second. Did y'all have a good Phil Jackson story you'd like to share with the viewers at home?
You know, I wouldn't say a story. I just want to reminisce on his career. You know, I got a chance to play him in the playoffs in pretty much every step of teams I played with: Miami, Atlanta, you know, San Antonio, and definitely in Portland when we lost Game 7 to him. X's and O's, excellent coach. Managing of people, excellent coach. But the one thing I felt versus playing against Phil Jackson's teams that I didn't feel against any other coach is I was playing against 5 guys and also Phil Jackson. Most of the time I just felt I was playing against the 5 guys, but it seemed like every time things were going well for my team or bad, I would catch Phil's eye, and we both have a smirk. So as always, that's the one coach I would say it felt like I was playing against him and his 5 times. So I guess that wolf was pretty strong, and he did a phenomenal job. I hate to see him go because he's a big personality and a great coach that we're losing in our game.
Well, you know, he's had some pretty good wolves to lead his pack with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and the likes. But I think with Coach Jackson, the one thing that was the most interesting part was about his presence. There just was an aura about him, that there was more going on than just basketball. It's almost like one of those situations when you get a little older and you look back at some of your teachers, and some of your teachers were teaching you more things than just the subject at hand. And I think that Phil Jackson, for every former player that I've talked to that's had a chance to play under Coach Jackson, always talks about how much more they learned about themselves and about how many life lessons, much like John Wooden, the same sort of aura that John Wooden and Coach Krzyzewski have in the college ranks. Phil Jackson, to be able to do that and change guys as adults, as individuals, and as grown men, as family men, that's the most impressive thing to me, is that Phil Jackson transcends the game of basketball and was able to have that much success in doing it.